You have to please forgive me. I'm just getting over a cold and I can hear the raspiness in my voice. So forgive me for that. But there was something on my mind and I thought, let me just share it. Maybe um, if I say it out loud, it won't seem so crazy in my head because I'm always living inside my head for some reason. I don't know why. Let's just chalk it up to the fact that I'm getting older. I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, I didn't have anything to do. And so I decided I'm just going to sit at a park. And I'm just going to sit there on the table, not the bench. I said, I don't actually sit on the table. Forgive me. It was higher. I didn't want my feet on the ground. And I just kind of watched my surroundings. And there was a lot of young women there, some of them by themselves, some of them with children. But for the most part, not many of them had a guy with them. And I was noticing, like, well, where is the guy? Where's the guy? Where's the guy? Where's the guy? And I started to notice, some of the little things. And uh, I saw one sitting on the bench by the table, and she was sitting in Indian style. I guess none of us like our feet to touch the ground, huh? How ironic is that? But she was sitting there, and she was just kind of watching. And her children were running around playing, and they were, just being children. And I love watching that. They were just running around playing and just being kids, carefree kids, and they have their right. Then I saw some just kind of standing around talking and laughing and just having a good time, I guess. And looking at them kind of made me kind of miss being young a little bit. You go through youth so fast and you take so much for granted. You don't think about that there's going to come a time when this is going to be old news. You're so busy living in the moment that the future doesn't make any, doesn't even register in your brain. And that's okay. You need to live in the moment. That's okay. And that's what I did. I lived in the moment. I didn't think about getting older. But now that I'm older, when I look at a lot of the young women, I be thinking, I wish I could be young again. The only thing is, I don't think I would want to be young in this era. Let me tell you a story. When I was coming up, well, I was actually grown. I was even married at the time, but I was young. But there was a radio station called Quiet Storm. Now, I don't know if this radio station still exists. I don't really listen to the radio anymore unless I'm in a car. And I'm from East Texas, so I like country music. So when I'm in a car, I'm listening to country music, a little bit of jazz. And so I don't really listen to the radio. So there was this radio station called Quiet Storm, and it was very popular in the black community. And there was a young lady who, a friend of mine, well, I wouldn't even say friend, we were work associates that frequently talked on the phone, let's put it like that. And we would talk quite a bit. And of course, I was married with children, and she was single. She didn't have any kids. And she would call me sometimes, and she would be just really crying. I mean, literally boohooing in the middle of the night. And I'd get up, and of course, I would pray for her, and we would talk. I'd talk her through it till she can go to sleep. And she said, I'm just in the listening to Quiet Storm, and I just feel so lonely, and I feel so this, and all of my relationships fall apart, and they never work, and blah 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 blah. And I said, you know what, baby, what you really need to do to fix this problem so you can sleep at night is stop listening to some motherfucking Quiet Storm in the middle of the goddamn night by yourself. That's what you first ought to do. That's gonna cure a lot of that shit right there. And then you gonna sleep and I'm gonna sleep because you gonna be calling me, waking me up. Okay? That probably fixed that or it pissed off. I'm not sure. She didn't call me with it anymore. So I don't know which one, whatever worked. I'm glad it worked. But the thing is, in my era when we were lonesome or lonely and we were single, whether with or without children, we had this way where we would revamp or rejuvenate who we were as women. Sort of like a computer, we would kind of reboot ourselves, so to speak. And we would sit down at some point, whether it be at work, whether it be at home, riding in your car. And there was times when we would share each other stories with one another. And that's why I know there were times when we got like that we knew how to revitalize who we were and come and attack life in a different way. And before long, if a relationship is what we wanted, that's what we ended up with. But we had to renew who we were and realize, you know, if you're that lonely, that means that when you're in a relationship, you're allowing that person to keep you breathing, and or to determine who you are or whether you're happy or not. And that's a hell of a responsibility to put on someone, man or woman, and that's not good. So we sit back and we think about, okay, we gotta do this different. So the next one I go into, it's gonna be a little bit different. And usually it is. Usually it is. But nowadays, it's kind of different. I sat in that park and I watched a lot of the young ladies with the long nails and the long hair, probably, I don't know if it's weave or lace wig, or I could just tell it wasn't their hair because none of our hair is that good, you know, not even the one I got on my head. It's not that damn good, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking, and they, you can see shoulders, a lot of shoulders, a lot of ass hanging out, all that. And I couldn't understand. I kept looking, I'm like, in my day, you didn't see stuff like that. There was a certain type of woman that dressed like that, but it wasn't all over the place like you see now. Now it's like it's a lifestyle to be half naked. So if you have what they call a wonder package, you know, that I'm supposed to bid on, I don't know what's in there, and that's what makes it exciting. That's why I want it, because I don't know what's in it. But if I can peek in it or I can see through it, and I already see what's there, I'm not excited anymore. So if you want a guy to be excited about the end result, why are you showing it to him in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Put it like this. If a guy walks into a restaurant and sits at a table, and you walk up to that table and you said, "Hi, sir, what would you like to drink today?" And he give you his order, and you say, "Well, where's mine?" He's like, aren't you the waitress? No, I'm not the waitress. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. But if you're wearing a uniform or you're presenting yourself as a waitress, I'm definitely finna order, because that's what I came in here to do. So don't get upset. If you're walking around half-ass naked and these guys treat you like a hoe, don't get mad. You're wearing a fucking uniform, lady. I mean, come on now. You can't keep judging these guys for treating you the way they treat you when you're holding yourself unaccountable for half of the shit or most of the shit that you do. It's time for you guys to wake up and realize that pretty face ain't shit. It'll only get you so far. I remember when I was thin in the waist and cute in the face, and look at me, I got more years behind me than I do ahead of me. So trust and believe, take from someone who knows, those looks are going to go away. Oh, I guarantee freaking you they're going to go away. And you have got nothing inside, no substance, no nothing. You're going to end up by yourself. You're going to get you a couple of cats, maybe a few dogs, even a bird if you're lucky, and get, find your Lifetime Movie Network channel and purchase it and sit back with a cup of coffee, like me. I have a husband, though. And just fucking grow old until you die. You're going to be by yourself. You're going to have to revamp who you young women are. You're going to have to get some about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any moral compass anymore. Nothing bothers you. There's no conscience in you. Nothing freaking bothers you. You do what you want to do. You say what you want to say. You dress the way you want to dress. You act the way you want to act. And then you want to sit back and bitch about it. No one want to hear you bitch about it. No one want to hear you bitch about it. You want to sit around and kick your legs up in the air for everybody that comes by and say, "Ooh, you so pretty. Ooh, I like that ass." There's a show with a little guy called London where they come up in different neighborhoods. I've seen quite a bit of them in Houston, and they have these exotic cars, and they meet these girls walking down the sidewalk, and they label them either gold diggers or not. And I'm saying to myself, if she walking down the sidewalk and she tell you you're not her type, and then you show her this car, and then she turns around and come back, nigga, you already know that girl is after that damn car, or what she think you got that makes you able to afford that fucking car. So don't play stupid. Everybody's out here trying to get something from somebody for nothing. So let's not play the blaming game. Ladies, I want to call you ladies, but that's not what you're acting like. You walk around and you messing with married men, and you half-ass naked, and you're using this horrible language, and you have no self-respect, no dignity, no moral compass about anything, and you want someone to treat you like a woman. There is no more sugar and spice and everything nice in you guys anymore. It does not exist. Someone stole it. Stop saying and acting like you're Cardi B. She says, "I don't cook, I don't clean." Cardi B got the fucking money not to cook and clean because she can pay somebody to do it. You got to get up off your sorry ass to cook and clean, and that's probably why you buy your goddamn stuff. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm no spring chicken, but I've been around long enough to watch you guys fucking up, and I'm trying to tell you, if nobody else tells you, you're fucking up. You need to go back to being women, acting like women. The only way these guys are gonna act like men is when you start acting like a fucking woman. And I'm tired of watching you guys parade around here like you're off of the Soul Train or dance lineup or y'all auditioning to be the next big porn star. Nobody wants to see that shit. These kids are watching that shit. They're coming up acting just like you. It don't make no sense. It's sad. It's pitiful. It's pathetic. And it makes me angry. Because you've gone so far off the Richter scale. It's weird. Clock that T. How about that?